Hey y'all, so I want to do a quick video because I witnessed something last week that really pissed me off, and I feel like I need to share it, and hopefully this helps somebody to not do this or ever think about doing it. Hopefully you never thought about doing it. But anyway, just to start the conversation, I've been looking a lot into like people talking about aesthetics and like how people are dropping the aesthetics now as far as content creators and just people online who are tired of the overly curated content and just going a more natural route. Like, be yourself. Like, just come natural and raw. And while I 1000% agree with that, I want to give you guys this perspective because this is also important. So while I 1000% agree with like dropping the curated content, because people are really not interested in that as much anymore, right? People want real conversations, real vibes. I can't explain it, but I can't get a real vibe from a lady that's like has, always at the coffee shop every day, or like cooking with a book in her hand or something like that. Like, I really want y'all to understand how important it is to be yourself, but also to keep some part of professionalism in the things that you do. So, quick story time. And again, this is not to put this lady on blast, but last week, I did an interview. I was interviewing the lady. I was helping out with the interview, and the lady showed up to the interview, y'all, in pajamas. And now I know you guys are probably like, this is not the same situation. Hear me out real quick. Hold on one second. I'm not there yet. So she pulled up to the interview on Zoom. She pulled up on Zoom and she had pajamas on. And it blew me back because, first of all, in this economy, you are competing with so many different people who are desperately looking for jobs. Not only that, but this is a remote job. It's a great position to have. Very simple, straight to the point. And she showed up to this interview amongst her competition. Well, not, it was a one-on-one, but in the day we had multiple interviews, So she showed up in pajama pants, not pajama pants, whole pajama outfit, and her hair in a messy bun while she was doing the interview in her bed. And I know this is not the same situation as content creators, because like, girl, it's a lighter situation. It's a lighter scenario, right? But I want this to stick in y'all heads that whatever it is that you do, you're not the only person doing it. So how you show up to things and how you present yourself, I'm wholeheartedly gonna stand firm on the fact that I believe that the things that you get are a reflection of how you show up. So how you show up, whatever you show up in whatever way, that's what you're gonna get. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like she did not want to be there. So do you think, based off of how she showed up, do you think she got the job? Absolutely not. There's nothing that she could have said or done during that interview, just based off of how she showed up to get that job. Granted, she didn't even try to sell herself with her words. The lady, she didn't want to be there. She did not want to be there. I'm convinced that somebody told her to just go, girl, and just roll out of bed and see what happens. Don't even get out of your bed. Just sit up and turn your camera on. But my point is, you guys, the way you show up is going to be a reflection of the things that you get. And I firmly believe that you do not have to be aesthetically put together and all the things. You can come in sweats. You know what I mean? You can wear a basic t-shirt like this and still show up presentable enough to the point where people take you seriously. Now, granted, there are people who can show up in a bonnet and kill it. There are people with thousands, millions of followers that show up in bonnets on TikTok or wherever else all the time online, and they can kill it, and that works for them. That is not my ministry in particular. And everybody cannot be successful in that, pulling that off. You know what I mean? So I really want you guys to consider, before you take the drop the aesthetic thing too far, is that you still need to show up for yourself in certain ways. Another example of this is brand deals. You guys, at some point, in some sense, we're all competing in some type of sense. You know what I mean? We're all working towards something, and there's no person that's doing one thing themselves. People are doing multiple things at a time. For example, UGC creators, how you show up is how you're going to get deals, brand deals. You're not the only person looking for brand deals. You're not the only person sending out emails. You're not the only person hustling to get, your name out there, to get your content, whatever it is. At some point, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, whatever app it is or whatever it is, if you're pushing content, you're trying to sell something. You're trying to buy people into your community. You're trying to do some type of thing. And I firmly believe that again, while the aesthetic is not important, you can drop the aesthetic. I highly encourage you to. But don't forget that appearance matters, y'all. I've seen people on TikTok that are selling beauty products and all this stuff that I would not buy because you're not selling it here. You know what I mean? You're not. And not to be mean, but it's like, if you look like you just rolled out of bed and you're not selling the product. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, in a sense, still sell yourself. And I just think that sometimes when we say drop the aesthetic, just be yourself, people just go a little bit too far with it. You're going a little bit too far. So I just want to encourage you guys to show up on and off camera as yourself, but still respect yourself enough to understand that how you show up is going to be a reflection of what you receive in return. Okay? Because I'm still blown back from what I saw last week. And I was I've never been so disappointed in a stranger in my life. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys, it was a Black woman. So that kind of sent me over the edge a little bit more, because I feel like as Black women, we do have to show up to a certain standard. You know what I mean? No matter how many aesthetics we drop or how many, whatever it is, we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard, because that's just the cards we were dealt. That's just what it is, okay? And as a dark-skinned woman, I feel like it is something that, I don't know, I take very seriously. I take that very, very seriously. Growing up, I was just never taught to treat myself or present myself any less than what I deserve. So, again, I'm just rambling, y'all. This is a rant. I had to get this out because that really pissed me off. And then I did a post about it on Threads earlier, and somebody was like, oh, well, you don't know what she was going through. She could be depressed. Baby, I'm depressed. We're all depressed. You know what I mean? Like, we're all stressed out. You know what I mean? But trust and believe, I showed up to that interview with a decent shirt on. You know, the bottom half was not important, but it was not as professional as the top half. I will say that. But my point is, you still show up for the things that you want. And I don't want us to lose that in the thought process of drop the aesthetic, be yourself, just, take me as I am. No, girl, do you want this money or do you not? Like, because there's people out here willing to get it. You know what I mean? So that's it, y'all. I hope that helps. I'm just rambling at this point, but I had to get that off my chest. It was driving me crazy. So anyway, yes, when it comes to dropping the aesthetic, I'm all for that. But do not forget to show up for the things that you are wanting to receive. Okay? That's all. If this video resonated with you, if you liked it, if you like my shirt, if you like anything about this video, if you like the background, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about dropping the aesthetic? What do you think about being yourself? Should it be okay for you to show up to an interview in pajamas? Should it be okay for you to present yourself however you feel and people just accept you for who you are? Let me know in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.